All right, we have a very special guest with us here today. We have Mr. Jim Goad. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Goad?
I'll tell you about myself. Okay, let's see. I'm a convicted felon, I'm a writer, a father, transplanted northerner, a skeptic, a wizard, a pusher, a preacher, a prophet.
Yeah, I also hear you do some writing on the side as well.
Yeah, well,
All right. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, outside of being a convicted woman beater and a person that's been on trial for obscenity, he's also the author of the Redneck Manifesto, contributor to Taki's magazine, publisher of Answer Me, Shit Magnet. Anything I'm leaving out?
new ebook coming out in about a month called The Headache Factor, about dealing with online stalkers.
Oh wow, I haven't actually heard about that one.
Flawed catalog.
Oh.
Your website.
All right. Well, definitely everybody be on the lookout for that one. All right. Today's topic, we're talking... And he's also... Yes, and Mr. Goad is also eating strawberries at the moment. If that's okay. All right. Today's subject, we're talking about gun control policies in the U.S., and obviously Mr. Goad is someone who clearly wants to take away all of our firearms. Isn't that right, Jim?
Well, who's firearms? Governments?
Oh, well, of course. I mean, who else would we take them from?
I mean, that's the typical. Is there any way I'm getting feedback that you're starting to I'm confusing myself and you echo my voice made this epileptic seizure? Is there anything we can do to adjust? It seems to have stopped.
Okay. Oh, is that working?
Let me see. Testing one, two. I'm still hearing it, but I'm wrong.
Okay, well...
I know the idiots. I was a predictable brainwashed liberal when I was against guns. It's one of another mostly brainwashed liberal in the paper that I worked at. Raised in a way that never really occurred to me. You know, they never talk about taking the government's guns away. That sort of bumped it up for me. And all the people screaming about gun control after the highly publicized cases over the last years. They never proposed taking away nuclear missiles. You know, there's a massive firepower that people extract our tenants from means. So I'm all for hammer down. I know a lot of people are saying there's no way you can beat the government. It's like, well, there's people in 76 have that attitude would still be shooting to the crowd.
So I'm currently reading a book called Unintended Consequences by John Ross. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not.
From 1996. It's considered the preeminent gun culture treatise in American history. Well, I guess if you haven't read it, I guess we really can't talk about it. But the central thesis of that one is it's trying to iron out sort of an idea about what gun culture is in the United States. And he has a very sort of unexpected definition of what gun culture is. He says it's basically more about socioeconomics, that these aren't your typical Yahoo redneck racist stereotypes, but they're actually higher income, usually middle-aged males that just enjoy shooting. So in your definition, in your eyes and experiences, what do you consider gun culture in the U.S. to actually entail?
Oh, listen, I did a little bit about violent murder stat. I think, as far as perpetrated, I think at least half gun deaths in America they are black males. And I don't really have any idea what the breakdown is on those guns legally or not. It's significant that it would be half or over half because we're talking about a group of the population, like 6%.
So, what do you think the media has wrong about gun owners in America?
I think the media has, just culturally it gets everything wrong about people who aren't like people who are in the media. It's a predominantly, overwhelmingly urban viewpoint, upper middle class or upper class viewpoint. And then a lot of them, they live in D.C., New York, L.A., places with strict gun control, where the murder rate's through the roof. I think there's a lot of constant dissonance there. I think we're riding, hopefully, the end of the crest of a wave of delusion that started sometime in the 50s or 60s, and will hopefully come to an end sooner or later. I think people are desperately clinging to a narrative that proves not to be true, and it's going to take some cataclysmic to disappear some of these notions.
So, what do you think?
I was glad that I had a guy. I was with the LA riots.
Mm-hmm.
Did not at the time. Purchased a Mossberg shotgun and a Ruger 22 pistol, and felt much safer when we anticipated second riots, which never came because they convicted the cops. It would seem to be double jeopardy, but they got on federal civil rights charges, which were ridiculous. There was no evidence. They were beating Rodney King for being black. The way the media framed that story, for Christ's sake, I'm living, all the whites just went out here, Georgia in the winter time with the space heaters on. I lived in LA when all this happened. I didn't find out until about 9 months ago that Rodney King had two partners with him that night, and they obeyed police orders to stay down. They didn't get touched.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty aware of that.
Yeah, most people weren't.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the full tape where apparently he keeps getting up and lunging at them.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it was presented, it was cut and dry. It was four racist white cops. It didn't matter that one of the cops was Mexican. They had the narrative in the family. Rodney King did a complete fuck up. I remember that story after story, even right after the riots, he's going up and picking up transvestite hookers and running over them, and one drunk driving arrest after the next. What a weird hero that guy became. Yeah, he got beaten, but he also got millions of dollars, and 55 people got murdered during the riots.
Oh,
But Rodney King has nothing to do with guns, really, but I guess it is about force. And, the force shown during the riots was enough to get them to reach by the cops and find them guilty. So, I believe in evolution. I believe the strong survive. It's about monopolizing force. The government doesn't want to get rid of their guns. They want to monopolize violence.
So, what do you think gun ownership is such a major political football in the U.S.?
It's always been in politics. That's what the purpose of a government is. They're the biggest gang in town, and they want to make it next to impossible for anyone to seize that power. Makes sense if you're in the government. But again, it's about force and violence. The threat of force and violence is what keeps societies together. I don't know what they tell themselves. It's very little that really democratic. How much choice do you really think you have in the decisions that are made for you? I have no kidding. But yeah, that's when the scales fell off mine in the late 80s when the liberal friend of mine said, well, they'll still have their guns. Like, well, yeah. Never really occurred to me that way.
So, when you hear politicians and pundits discussing the term gun control, especially those that are in favor of it, what do you think they're referring to?
When they say gun control,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's quite other than just controlling the distribution of firearms.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar a lot with what they call an assault rifle. It's a lot more dramatic than what it actually is. It's just one of those things. Well, give up your nuclear bombs, and then we can talk. Give up your submarine missiles, everything else. But people don't have a problem with that. And I guess that's why people feel protected by people who take your money and have nukes pointed at you. Good for them. It makes me a little queasy.
So, what are your general thoughts on gun control policies at the current? Obviously, you had the federal assault weapons ban repealed. You've seen a lot more states adopt concealed weapon carry laws. So it seems like the pendulum might be shifting more towards the pro-gunners at this point. So you think the country is making progress or regression in terms of gun policies?
I'm not sure what policies have changed.
Well, you've had the federal assault weapon ban was repealed in 2004. You've had much more states adopt concealed weapon carry laws.
To my knowledge, correlation does not imply causation necessarily, but since the early 90s, hasn't gun ownership mushroomed while violent crime has gone down?
You know, that's a very intriguing thing. I keep seeing different statistics. Some say that short-term purchases have gone up after certain incidents like Sandy Hook and Virginia Tech. But on the whole, I think gun ownership has been down substantially since the 1950s.
Not from what I've seen. I did a little bit personally. I did the gun stealing article, Sandy Hook. And it's just, from what I know, like, we're at the point with more than one gun for every man, woman, child in the U.S.
Well, and that's another interesting thing. There's about 300 million operational guns out there in the U.S., but according to Pew in 2012, only 34% of households actually own guns. So, what does this tell you there?
Some people own more than others, and I'm not sure are illegally possessed firearms.
I'm assuming those are legally possessed firearms, but you never know. So, what's your general take on these concealed carry laws? Do you think they're too restrictive or not restrictive enough?
I'm not sure about the details of the law, so I really couldn't say. It'd be, I'd actually like to see the per capita murder rates in the Wild West when everybody was strapped. That'd be interesting. And what, you're up there in Kennesaw, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do they still have the mandatory gun ownership law in Kennesaw, Georgia?
They do. It's actually a city ordinance passed in 1982.
Does murder even consider?
The murder rates. Well, we've had a rash of shootings lately. A Waffle House got shot up by some guy that was drunk. There was actually a prominent case where there was a road rage murder where a African American student killed a white American student, which never made the headlines nationally, but that's kind of caused a stir here. Yeah, generally the murder rate's quite lower than it is in Metro Atlanta, but then again, the statistics are so high in Atlanta.
A lot of these high-profile spree killings, disproportionately in so-called gun-free zones. Yes. If I was looking, say I was a mass murder, an aspirant mass murderer, I would go where I didn't think anybody could shoot back.
Yeah,
It makes sense. It's practical.
Well, yeah, obviously it goes without saying.
No, apparently not.
They're not picking it
The
up.
idiots who had they encourage more, but the track record hasn't been good. But what do you do? What do you do? Yeah, like I said, it'd be nice if we just all fought it out with our fists, but there's all these weapons in existence. How do you get rid of them? How do you ensure that no one has them? I really don't know. I'm not sure there is a answer to that. Fundamentally, I'm not going to stop being uncomfortable with the idea that people have authority over me and massive firepower and can take the first 4 months of my labor every year. It doesn't sit well with me. And there's much I can do about it right now. It doesn't make me happy. And it strikes me as really hypocritical when the guys with the biggest guns, I'm talking about people, how they're able to maintain a straight face. Wasn't it Bloomberg and New York surrounded 5 or 6 armed guards trying to disarm everyone in New York? I guess 5 times. It's always the case.
And I guess probably obviously the largest pro-gun organization in America is the National Rifle Association. I don't think you've really read anything in your writings thus far that kind of addressed your opinions on them. So how do you feel about the NRA and Wayne LaPierre?
I don't know Wayne LaPierre personally, and I really don't know the inner workings of the organization. What's funny is this powerful gun lobby. You always do that. So really, are they more powerful than the federal government that wants to take the guns? I don't think so. They're more powerful than a lot of people who do anti-gun propaganda. Not as far as I can tell. I don't join organizations, but I don't really care either way. I don't think they're that powerful, but there's a lot of propaganda. They're powerful. Politicians are powerless to deal with them. So maybe they reflect on the deal. Maybe it's as simple as that.
All right, so to you, what does the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution mean? Mm-hmm. And do you believe that the...
adversarial force against too powerful. It was a populist idea.
And do you believe there should be any limitations whatsoever to what the Second Amendment states?
You mean, like, should people be able to own nuclear bombs? Or?
Well, that's the cliche everybody brings up, but yeah, we'll go with it. Should people own nukes?
I don't, you don't need that. Well, okay, you don't need your car. Let me think that. I'm not really sure. How do you screen against it? Like I said, I think maybe the best thing is not dope everyone up, much less. Because what could they have done about Atlanta? These were mom's guns. You got access. He was refused. He tried to buy a gun, he got refused. I'm not sure why. I don't know if he had a criminal record or some psychiatric record. How do you stop a guy like that? Oh, maybe you don't dope the hell out of him in the first place. Did you ever read the Unintended Manifesto?
I read the section Apocalypse Culture too, but I've not read the entire treatise, unfortunately.
Kaczynski was really hostile to the antidepressants because his reasoning, and I agree with it, is, I'm really skeptical about the idea of chemical emission. With no reason, suddenly you're just squirting out dead chemicals. I think humans react, maybe the brain generate unpleasant chemicals and feelings when they're going through unpleasant situations. But Kaczynski's reasoning was, you're taking away from totalitarianism if you develop a pill. It's almost like soma to brave the world. You create miserable situations so miserable people are going to take a pill, and then it renders them happy and miserable. Cockroaches can be born in their face for no training. Well, how will you do that when you manipulate people? No matter how bad their situation gets, how much you're trying to degrade them, they won't even know. They'll be blasted out with pills. Of course, a lot of people around me have been destroyed in America. That's painkillers. I like mothers against driving and that stuff. But I do think, if they're going to have workshops and foundations and government research, get to the root of psychiatric medication and that shit. So I think there's a strong correlation there.
Okay. And that's
And also, the media really wants to talk about guns. They want to have these honest conversations. They never do. Talk about pleasure and gun violence. Again, as far as I know, that's statistically most of it.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue into my final two questions for you, just about the public impact of gun violence in U.S. culture. First off, no matter if you're pro-gun, anti-gun, whatever, you got to admit there's a lot of gun violence going on. It fluctuates 2000 to 2010, anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 gun-related homicides in the U.S. So if President Jim Goad's up there, how would you address the nation's gun violence problems? What policies would you enact, or what would you not do that perhaps the current administration is doing?
Here's the thing. People ask me for my solutions for a lot of stuff. I always come back with that there isn't a solution. We're just in this cultural mess where, I know people tout the joys of diversity and multiculturalism. I think it's going to balkanize. And then you've got millions of guns. I'm not sure there's an easy way out of that one, but some legislation would change. I think it's here that the country may fracture sooner possibly than later. And maybe when the dust settles, we can figure things out. But I would think if we're headed for dark time, I'd much rather be armed.
All right, and December 14th, 2013 is rapidly approaching the one-year anniversary of the Sandy Hook shooting. And I guess the question on everybody's lips at this point is, what is the best way to prevent school shootings like that from happening in the future? So do you have any possible ideas that haven't already been thrown out for perhaps the best way to prevent such acts of violence from occurring?
Not really sure. I think we're scared kids out from guards. Their way to have I really don't know. You're assuming that there is a good solution. I know, for hundreds of years, everybody had a gun. Kids probably went to school with tens of rifles and nothing happened. I think the problem could be more cultural than just a matter of the I don't think we have a cohesive society anymore.
Bowling alone.
He's done the most extensive study on diversity that I've seen. His conclusions. He did about a 10-year study, got some conclusions, didn't like them, tried to retest it, and came to the same conclusions. Diversity makes people distrustful of other. They don't go out. They don't vote. They pretty much don't even talk to their names. I know when I was a kid, we knew everybody's name down the block, both sides. I can't even tell you the last time I was anywhere where I knew either neighbor's name. I think we're getting a little more alienated and isolated. That may have to do with it more than anything else. I mean, who knows? I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV. But if you're a moron, you're impressionable. If you watch, what is it? How many shootings does the average kid see on TV? How many reached over? Maybe some of them are just too dumb to distinguish between fantasy and reality. I don't know. Again, it's like, well, how do you cure stupidity? It's not an easy answer.
All right. I want to thank you very much for speaking with us today, Mr. Goad. And I'll let you have the final word. Anything you want to say about gun control policies, U.S. society in general? Any upcoming works?
Okay.
All right.
U.S. society in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at moving to other continents. I don't see much good that's going to happen in this country. I think we're on a slow, long, decline.
All right. And how are the strawberries? That's what everyone really wants to know.
What's that?
Oh, everyone really wants to know, how are the strawberries?
Strawberries are fantastic. Thanks for asking.
They're always great. That's really the most important takeaway, I think, is we need more fruits in our lives.